For a record 5th time, MLS Cup will be contested at the Home Depot Center. It's the end of the Beckham era in Los Angeles, but before parting ways with Landon, Donovan, and Robbie, Keane, the LA Power Trio look to make beautiful music together one more time and win the franchise a 4th title. Thanks to the goals of Will Bruin and the left foot of Brad Davis, the Houston Dynamo were able to knock off 3 higher seeds on their way to winning the East. It's MLS Cup 2012 next. Gentlemen, for the Dynamo, this is 11 for Dominic Kinnear.
Yeah, and I think we're going to focus mainly on the midfield right now because there's some good stuff that's going to come. We talked about Boniek Garcia out there on the wide.
Starting 11 for coach Bruce Arena.
Yeah, a couple guys to key on here. Omar Gonzalez in the back. This was a guy who missed half of the season with an injury. Without Omar Gonzalez, the Galaxy had a .412 win percentage.
Command performance in what may be a farewell for not one, but 2 lead actors. Away we go. Houston, the Orange Crush, as their fans lovingly refer to them as, going from left to right. The cross coming in from Calen Carr, didn't quite reach its targets. Ricardo Clark giving Carr another chance to work. Back it comes to Ricardo Clark, the shot was on. Well, nobody closed down Ricardo Clark there, and Josh Saunders has to come up with the first save of the game.
Strong start from the Houston Dynamo. And where does it come from? Get it out wide and attack those outside backs from the LA Galaxy.
Josh Saunders, finally a chance to settle, but not sure he was banking on having action this early in the game.
No, but we saw this in leg 2 of the conference final for Seattle early on in the game. Boswell.
The languid Boniek Garcia trying to open up the Galaxy defense again. First time ball from Beckham is a treat. Robbie Keane is on his way. Donovan in support. It's Landon. Donovan! He's put it wide. What an opportunity for Donovan to grab the lead for the Galaxy. It was a clinical counter-attack.
And this is why you have to put ball pressure immediately on David Beckham. He cannot pick up his head. Great run from Robbie Keane off the back shoulder of Bobby Boswell. You will not see that often. Perfect ball, perfect pace in front of Landon Donovan. He does everything but put the ball in the back of the net. And right on cue, we're complimenting Boswell and Taylor with how they handled Keane a minute before that. All it takes is one, Adrian.
Well, that was trademark LA Galaxy, wasn't to go with those goals.
Back post, Bobby Boswell, Omar Gonzalez. That's the matchup to watch.
Beckham's service is a peach on! The header down into the ground from McGee. He was no more than about 3 yards from goal. Another opportunity goes begging.
Yeah, but look at what happens. Calen Carr is marking Omar Gonzalez with Bobby Boswell. Mike McGee does a wonderful job of picking that spot. He uses the 2-against-1 to find that open spot. That ball has to be in the back of the net. Involved in this first half.
He wasn't used last year, was he, by Dominic Kinnear, and he called that one of his biggest regrets about last year's final. This is good, though, for Sarkodie. Oh, Kofi Sarkodie! Tipped onto the roof of the net by Saunders. What a story that would have been. Kofi Sarkodie, who was very much a reserve team player until his run into the team in September.
Well, and this is why he's in the starting lineup. He's much different going forward than Andre Hayno. And now what that does is it plants the seed in Mike McGee's head that he has to defend, look over his shoulder, because now Sarkodie, very good going forward with the ball in front of him. Bobby Boswell comes over here to clear that ball. He switched on the quick throw-in.
Boniek Garcia. Now Calen Carr's run is onside. Still Calen Carr! He's done it! Calen Carr revs it up for the Dynamo! Pure unbridled joy for the orange-wearing hordes here.
And this is a great run. That first step in front of Tommy Meyer keeps Calen Carr on. Does a great job to take that first touch in front of him, but this is why you talk about the missed chances for the LA Galaxy. The absolute worst time to give up a goal is the last 5 minutes going into halftime. Calen Carr has been active running that line. It's a great run. The finish is good, but it's the run to stay on side in behind Tommy Meyer. 1-0 Houston.
They trailed going up to San Jose for the second leg of that semi-final and found a way to win, and they're going to have to come from a goal down once again, thanks to Calen Carr's strike at the perfect time.
You remember that second half of Leg 2 in San Jose? 2 or 3 clear chances to put the game away.
Now, David Beckham has 8 assists and 16 playoff games for the Galaxy. Oh, he found a target. Robbie Keane is offside, not going to count. He finished with real aplomb, but the flag came up immediately.
Houston does a good job dealing with this first ball in. Robbie Keane's offside here, but it's off this deflection from Tommy Meyer.
Yeah, clearly the right decision. This for the Galaxy, swinging it in. Oh, and it might have gone straight in. Tally Hall made sure it didn't. Franklin. Better spell this now for LA. Juninho hanging it up there. Gonzalez! The equalizer! Omar Gonzalez capping what has been quite some year for him, and the Galaxy are back in business.
This is what happens when you defend the LA Galaxy on set pieces. If you do not clear that first ball out and allow them to recycle runs, Omar Gonzalez is still a factor. This comes off defending a corner kick. The ball comes out to Juninho. Easy finish for Omar Gonzalez. But that's the presence of a guy like Omar Gonzalez. If you don't handle defending the set piece first and foremost, he's
Berg that took him last year on loan. And now the Galaxy with the bit between the teeth. Wilhelmsson asking for something. He is going to get a corner. He wanted a little more.
And now the momentum has completely switched. The next 5 minutes huge for the Houston Dynamo.
A rising tide for Bruce Arena and his coaching staff behind him, Dave Sarachan. Beckham again. Deep again towards Gonzalez. There was a wrestling match, not going to count. Second time the Galaxy have had the ball in the net, only for it to be disallowed. To be fair to Silvio Petrescu, he blew the whistle immediately as the ball was still hanging in the air.
But the question is, where are Omar Gonzalez's arms? That's a tough call. Honestly, that's a ridiculous call. That's 2 players going up for a 50.
Who could be saying goodbye to the Galaxy. His second penalty of this postseason. He scored his last one against Vancouver. It's Donovan! Well, if it is goodbye for Landon Donovan, what a way to go.
You see it right there with Bruce Arena telling LA to press. They know the Houston Dynamo are on their heels.
Ricardo Clark's handball here, Taylor.
Yeah, it's without a doubt, it's a handball, it's a penalty kick, but it's how Houston handled that first goal and the reaction and the momentum. They've been on their heels ever since, and LA makes them pay.
Well, he'll take up some sort of ownership role in the future, but here's Keane. Buggle hurtling forward to support. Keane might not need it. Robbie Keane! Well, what a crowning moment that would have been. He did everything except beat Tally Hall.
Run.
Garcia into Ching. Kanji wanted it. Ching going for goal instead and wasn't that far away.
Well, and that run may not be over. See the difference of the importance of having a target forward up front that's confident with his back to goal? Look at the amount of options that are there now. Can turn face-up defenders, knock in players in behind, have a shot.
Oh, they backed off Brian Ching there. Now the Galaxy could take some of the sting out of proceeding. Perhaps Donovan has sprayed it wide for McGee. And he will head for the corner perhaps to the final minutes. Robbie Keane is open. Keane goes down. It's going to be another penalty. And the Galaxy have the chance to ice this now. Tally Hall is booked. And Robbie Keane has won the penalty. And the Galaxy can add a third.
It's hard to argue that if you said Robbie Keane has been the best player since July 1st in MLS, nobody's going to argue with you. He has simply taken the Galaxy on his shoulders and led them quietly.
Not sure what Tally Hall is arguing about. He clearly had his hands.
It's a penalty kick. No doubt about it.
And it's Robbie Keane's turn. Donovan has dispatched one. It's Keane who was successful against Seattle. And what a big penalty that proved to be up in Seattle with his team trailing 2-0 in the second leg of the final. He can put the icing on the cake here for the Galaxy. Robbie Keane against Tally Hall. It's Keane who scores! The goals continue to flow for Ireland's best ever, and the Galaxy now are home and dry.